This is Maple TA Lesson 12A homework question number 6. Suppose you toss a coin 3 times and count the number of heads. Fill in the blanks in the following table to create a probability model for this situation. Give all probabilities as a fraction or as a number between 0 and 1, meaning a decimal. So the first thing I want to do is find my sample space, and to do this I'm going to use something called a tree diagram. I'm going to use Excel just because it's nice. So my first toss, I can either get a head or a tail. And then I don't have little arrows here. I'm going to come up here for my next toss. So this is the first, this is the second, and this will be my third. Did I give myself enough room? I hope so. Okay, so from here I can also get either a head or a tail after my head here. Then my tail, I can also have a head or a tail. Now from the head I can also have a head or a tail, and the tail here I can also have a head or a tail. Here I can, from this head, I can then toss, for my third toss, a head or a tail, and I'm getting kind of scrunched in here, head or tail, and then from this tail, I guess I should move this down. We'll move it down just one so that, there we go, and then this will be my tail. I could either have a head or a tail. There we go. So I could have a head, 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 tail, head, or head, head, tail, head, tail, head, head, tail, 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 head, head, tail, head, tail, 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 head, and tail, tail, tail. And that tells you all of the different combinations that I can have for my sample space here. So we want to see the number of heads, 0, number of 1 head, 2 head, and 3 heads. So I could write this out. So it's might be easier to see head, 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 tail, head, tail, head, head, tail, tail. I'm just going through these just so that you can see I'm just writing them down. Head, head, tail, head, tail, head, head, tail, tail. Now my next combination will start with the tails. Tail, head, head, tail, head, tail, 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 head, and tail, tail, tail. I think we had tail, head, head, tail, head, tail, 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 head, tail, tail, tail. Okay, so those are all of the different possibilities. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 different ways of finding all of these different combinations here. And you'll notice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that matches, and you can just work backwards if you want to do that. Okay, so now we want to find out how many in here have 0 heads. Number of heads, 0. So there's only 1 in here, and that would be the tail, tail, tail. So that's 1 out of all of these is 1 divided by 8. So to find that, we'll do equals 1 divided by 8, and that gives me point. It doesn't say what to round it to, so I'm going to go ahead and go out so that if I get it wrong, then we can fix it and round it up to 2 decimal places. But I'd rather get it wrong in mine so that you can see how to do it correct. We'll find out at the end. The next one says how many have just 1 number of head. So I have 1 here and 1 here and 1 here. So there's 3 different ways of getting 1 head. Yep, so 3 out of 8 equals 3 divided by 8 gives me, and I'm going to write it all out as well, 0.375. And then the next one, how many to get 2 heads, and you'll see 1, 2, 3. Again, the same thing, equals 3 divided by 8. And then the last one, 0.375, the last one will be 3 heads, which only happened once. So again, equals 1 divided by 8, which is the same percentage of 0.125. Now the way I can double check I did this all correct, this is our probability model. This will equal 100% or 1. So I can go ahead and find that equals sum of everything here. This is just kind of a cool trick just to make sure that you have everything, all of your probabilities. And it did equal 1, so that was just a little way to verify that we have all of our probabilities in there. Okay, so let's see if it was okay with all of my, go out the 3 decimal places. All right, good luck on that one.